Yep, they're tablespoons. So 3 tablespoons of sugar per pie. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. There's 2 per pie. And like I said, I kind of already have too much. So I'm just going to go with enough for 2 pies. Because I always have more topping than I need. And then it also calls for 2 tablespoons of dark brown sugar. Dark brown. And you know what? I'm going to mix in some light brown. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of dark brown, and I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of light brown because I want to feed my perfectionists that it doesn't have to be perfect because this is the topping. None of it has to be perfect, actually. And then we're going to do a teaspoon of cinnamon. No more nutmeg. And I'm just going to mix this all up in my hand or a spoon. But you want to get it kind of, it'll be crumbly when you put it on your pie because you're going to dot it with some butter. And so it's just, you know, nice and crumbly, and it makes a nice crumble inside the pie. Okay, now we're ready to make a pie. Now, before we do that, we need to get the top crust ready. I'm only going to show you one of these because I don't want this to go too long. I get a couple more pie crusts out. I need one of these for what I'm about to do. I'm going to lay it out again, this time without any flour. Show you this. Yeah, that's good. So now I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it so that it has, I can make the lattice work. So, see if I can show you this. There's no perfection with this either. My pies don't taste or look any differently if I don't get my lattice work exactly right. I like to leave a little edge though. So as I go to make my pie, see these little edges? I like those. Okay. Clearly I'm not a professional at this kind of thing. So I'm going to take one of my pies, my pie crust. It's not perfect. Get a good spoon. My red spoons, blood of the lamb. One year we learned that in Sunday school. We were going to cook with the blood of the lamb. All right, so I'm adding 3 big spoonfuls to this pie. I'm going to go ahead and add a 4th. So I'm just spreading it all out. Now I'm gonna take my topping. I'm just gonna sprinkle it over the pie. Taking about 1/4 of the sprinkles. not perfect. I'm gonna take my butter, and it melted just a little bit on top of my stove, and I'm just gonna dot it with butter. Yeah, I've got more butter getting softer, but this makes it really nice. All right, so a little bit of butter. Now I'm gonna cover it with my lattice work. So I'm gonna pick one up right here from the middle. And I'm gonna lay it across, and I'm gonna pinch it to the rest of it, to the bottom part. Does not have to be perfect. And I lay 3 across the middle. I'm gonna save the sides for the top. And I do 3 the other way. And I do have, I'm pinching off some of the extra, and just adhering it to the bottom crust. I'm just adhering it to the bottom crust because it's going to cook into each other. Now I have these edges, and I like to put the edges with the edge on the top. Makes it nice. And I like the crust, so I cook with extra crust. And then it likes you to like take a little milk and brush a little milk on. Now as we go to cook this, it's really important that you watch it, because about 30 minutes in, we're going to cover it with a tent of tin foil so that the edges of the pie don't get burned. Some recipes call for you to add a little more sugar at this point, but I think we've got a ton of sugar in here. So there's a little bit of milk, and there's the pie. Yay! Now I'm going to cook this for 20 minutes, and I'm going to check it, and if it starts to get a little bit brown on the top, I'm going to cover it with tin foil, and then I'm going to cook it another 20 minutes and really watch for it, and that's pretty much enough. The recipe calls for 50 minutes, but I think 40 in my oven. You have to check your oven. You have to check to see what your oven does, but you know, you can always heat it up when you get to wherever you're going. But there's my pie. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.